We're over halfway through the year, so I thought that it would be a good opportunity to take a look at the most popular songs of the year so far. The official charts company recently released a list of the 40 biggest selling singles of 2013 so far, and today I'm going to give a small recap of the 10 biggest selling songs of the year. Unsurprisingly, I Knew You Were Trouble sticks to the typical Taylor Swift formula of singing about getting involved with a guy who ultimately turns out to be a complete fucking douchebag. However, this time, Taylor surrenders all pretense and admits that she knew straight away from the off that this guy was a douchebag. This to me is the ultimate joke of Taylor Swift as an artist. So many thousands of people hail this woman as the epitome of what all young girls experience at one point in their adolescent life, but this goes to prove that she is so detached from her own consciousness of how psychotic and deranged she is. I just have to laugh at little Miss Swift, as well as the fact that the people who still define her as a country act is increasingly more laughable as each day goes by. The minimal dull electric guitar introduction coupled with the atrocious dubstep is by far one of the worst songs Miss Swift has released from her catalogue. Is this worse than We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together? Yes. But surprisingly, it doesn't make me as angry as We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together made me. I think now I've come to accept Taylor as the joke she is and have decided to move on. Last year, English-based electronic music act Rudimental burst out onto the scene with their smash hit Feel the Love, accompanied by John Newman, and it became one of the biggest selling singles of that year, and it wasn't hard to see why. The love for electronic music in the UK has been rife since the turn of the new decade and has hit new heights of commercial success. Waiting All Night has the hard-hitting track, unique vocal delivery, and simplistic lyrics that overall culminates in another fun and addictive song from the group, this time accompanied by English singer-songwriter Elle Air. Rudimental have very quickly established themselves as an act that has longevity. Whilst other electronic acts like the Bingo Players and Duke Dumont are artists that I believe won't have any more smash hits for a very long time, I can definitely see Rudimental having a long career in the not too near distant future. I already covered Pompeii in an earlier video, so I won't go into too much detail that I already have done, but I will repeat, it's a great sounding track with a very memorable hook and it is fun to listen to. The reason I gave it such a low mark though in my review is that when I review a song, I cover the entire content of the song. Not just the music, but the lyrics as well. If I was to judge it purely on the music and catchiness alone, it would get full marks. But bare bone lyrics against other songs on this list that have great music as well as lyrics that sound as though they've had effort put into them, it wouldn't be right for me to put this on the same level as those other tracks. I know some may feel I'm being contradictory because Waiting All Night could be tagged with the same description. Difference there is Waiting All Night holds my attention more longer than this song does. I'm just always waiting around for the oh, and even then that alone isn't enough to make me give this song a glowing review. Another uprising artist that has made his name in British music, DJ Naughty Boy came into notoriety through teaming up with Emily Sandé last year on the song Wonder, and had some moderate success with that track. Here he went one better, achieving #1 status with this track featuring Sam Smith called La La La. Personally, I hate the kind of songs with these titles. They look lazy and sound stupid whenever you say the title, and that can often give off the impression that the song is exactly that, lazy and stupid. Plus, it always sounds like the artists are mocking you, like a child that keeps going na 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 na. Whilst I can't say that it's a terrific song and the constant la la la's get very annoying very quickly, it's well produced and at times can be stuck in your head for a long time. Plus, the lyrics do look as though they've had some thought put into them, the opposite in fact of Pompeii. It's a sign of a decently produced track musically as far as dance pop goes, and should be a sign for more decent things to come from Naughty Boy. Let Her Go by Passenger ticks all the right boxes. It's strong, gorgeous, emotional, heart-wrenching in lyrics, and a delivery that feels and sounds real. Frontman Mike Rosenberg puts the correct level of emotion that the lyrics need in order to deliver a very pretty song, and it's only made so much better through the accompaniment of the folk rock music, starting off as subtle and pretty before stepping it up with a soft rock sound. So far we've had a string of British folk acts that have come through the woodwork along with Passenger, who include Jake Bugg and Tom Odell. I like the fact that the trend of folk music has branched off from 2012 and carried on into 2013, and shows that any other American or other European equivalents have tough competition from what the British has to offer. I can only reiterate that Mirrors is by far the most bombastic and brilliant song that has come out this year. For what Suit and Tie lacked in energy and enjoyment, Mirrors is the total opposite and makes for an all-round enjoyable and fantastic track. As I mentioned in the previous video, the duo of Pink and Nate Ruess performing on the same song together really shouldn't have worked, but by God, this was a blessing in disguise. Both are able to pull off a terrific performance and sound great in the process. Nate has a powerful voice, as we know, but holds off all the way throughout and it works brilliantly, whilst Pink actually sings instead of shouts as she usually does, and it's great to hear her sing a well-written love song without the need to profane nor make any sort of needless innuendo or try and make another feel good about yourself track like Raise Your Glass or Perfect. A terrific example of a song with so much star power, so much style and so much substance. I was extremely worried that after Thrift Shop, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis would fade into obscurity because Can't Hold Us sounded nothing like Thrift Shop. Happily that hasn't happened, and Can't Hold Us is still doing reasonably well in the charts, peaking at number 4 after a stint in the low 20s and 30s. This song though was the start of something truly brilliant. I do hope that Macklemore and Lewis's staying power will continue throughout the year and we see another top 10 single from these two. This song is shit. I made that well known in the last video. Next. Well, this song just popped out of nowhere, didn't it? Number 1 in 24 different countries and has already sold over 1 million copies in the UK alone. And really, it's not hard to see why. The lyrics were co-written not only with Pharrell Williams, but also with 80s soul legend Nile Rodgers. The lyrics tell the simple story of two people finding sexual chemistry between them, and when coupled with Daft Punk's disco sound, which is fun, funky, cool, and gives a great summery vibe, all culminates in a very well crafted song and one of the best to come out of this year. Admittedly, it took a while for me to warm up to this track, but over time it eventually wore me down, and I can't deny how well made this song is.